Hello and welcome to the Denver Homes Market Report. This is Ricky.schoonover of Mode Denver Real Estate. Thanks for tuning in this week and every week. We have an awesome show lined up. I love these shows, which are the first Thursday after the previous month. If you're a listener to the program, then you know that each month, as we close out the previous month, we take the time to check the pulse of the housing market here in the Mile High City. Today I want to check two things. First, I want to see how many homes we had listed in April of this year, and then also check the listings we had for this past May. I want to see if the inventory has creeped up a little bit or if it's continuing to get tighter. Then we'll jump in my MLS time machine and we are going to head back to May of 2020 and see just how many deals we closed in and around the Denver metro area last year. Then we'll head back to May of 2021 and we'll compare how many deals we closed this May of 2021. I have not even looked at the data yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that this year of 2021 was definitely stronger than last year's May. But that's just my guess. So let's pull up the data together today and we'll just see where those numbers fall. Last week, if you missed the show, it was a good one. We talked about real estate and transparency and why it's important we keep real estate well regulated. We need strong levers in place which hold everyone involved accountable. Buyers, sellers, realtors, lenders, title companies, home inspectors, and appraisers. There is a role all these folks play in the process, and we all work in synergy to ensure real estate is done on the up and up. We need trust in the market. No house is perfect. Not one house is perfect. I don't care if they are brand new or if they were built 100 years ago. They all have flaws. That is just the reality of real estate. However, when we all work in a professional manner and we all do our due diligence, we can minimize the risks and we can educate ourselves as to exactly what we are buying and its current condition. When it comes to title insurance, this day and age, it may seem like an unnecessary legal step. However, before we had title insurance, there were all sorts of underhanded dealings going on where people would sell you a house and after the fact, you find out you bought the house from someone who didn't even own it or who didn't have the authority to sell it. Or they sell you a property and you thought you knew what you were buying. Then later you learn actually the property lines were much smaller than what you were told or what you understood. So lenders want to make sure the property they are providing you a loan to purchase on, that their interests are also covered. This is part of the reason we still do appraisals. It's really not to set the price or even the value. The buyer pool, or in a more general term, the market, that's who sets the price. It's the price someone is willing to pay at a certain place in time. That is market value. The appraised value is really there to protect the lender. The lender does not want to loan you $500,000 on a home that's only worth $300,000, because then that buyer would likely walk away from the house if they knew they owed so much more than what the house was worth. So yes, our industry is constantly evolving and working to make homeownership as equitable and as transparent as possible. All the checks and balances are there and in place for good reasons. We need to have ways to identify those who are not playing fair or who are not working above board. Then have systems in place to deal with those who are not working towards maintaining the public's trust. Real estate is a risky investment, and in order for the prices to cycle, we need the prices to fluctuate and hopefully, over the long haul, go up in value. As a realtor, we want for there to be people who think the prices are going up while others may be thinking it's a good time to sell and cash out on their investments. If we don't have buyers and we don't have sellers, then we don't have any deals. Or if we have speculators who either try to minimize the magnitude of what it means to buy a house, that's not healthy either. I mean, I saw an advertisement recently which read, "Make buying and selling a house as easy as ordering a pizza." I mean, really? Come on. You think real estate has maintained over 100 years of strong public trust by making it as easy as ordering a pizza? That might sound great on the short end. However, the fallout would be tragic. The bad actors would be impossible to weed out. The misdealings would increase, and our entire industry would lose the public's most important asset. And that asset is trust. We all must work to instill trust in the real estate market. We all want real estate to remain a solid, long-term investment. We certainly do not want our homes to start being traded like it's some sort of cryptocurrency craze or even the stock market. That type of speculation is fine for an account which simply has money in it. But your home is your shelter. It's for you, your family, and everything you own in the world. We do not want huge fluctuations when it comes to our homes. So no, buying and selling a home is not as easy as ordering a pizza, nor should it ever be. And please do not fall for these latest schemes that I'm seeing out there. These are those fly-by-nights who will come and go, but the tried and true, trusted, licensed real estate professionals will continue to work hard to earn your trust over the long haul. We have had a lot of technology, and that's great to help us do our business. However, all the technology we have, in fact, brings us new challenges, as there are constantly different operations which pop up who then pitch the latest scheme. They tend to stay around until the market shifts a bit, and then they are gone just as soon as they realize real estate is a personal relationship business. And if you're not operating on the up and up, you're just not going to last long. Okay, well, I hope you see why we have all the checks and balances in place. And although you may not know what each component brings to the table, your realtor, your lender, the title company, the home appraisers, and the inspectors, they all play a role in maintaining your trust. And that's the bottom line. Okay, let's take a look at the inventory. I'm going to first take a look at April and compare that to the inventory we had in May of this year. So I did this on a recent show, and I found that we had a steady decline of inventory since January of this year. So in January of this year, we had a total of 13,500 listings. And then in April, that number was 11,853. And then just in this past May, we only had 8,517 active homes on the market. I mean, that is such low inventory. So no inventory is for sure not creeping up. There are still more buyers buying, or at least wanting to buy homes, than there are sellers looking to sell their homes. So now we know we are at historic low inventory. There are people who may want to buy a house. There are just not that many homes currently available to choose from. So if you are thinking of selling your home, give me a call, especially if you were hit hard during the pandemic and perhaps you had fallen a little bit behind. Do not fall victim to someone offering you some quick sale or some sort of, cash out now type scheme. Do not give away your equity. You worked too hard for it. We can get your home on the market quickly and get it sold. There are so many advertisers out there. They're offering what may sound like a great deal. However, before you fall for one of those schemes, give me a call. Let's take a really hard look at your value and what a potential buyer may be willing to spend on your home in this current market. Also, on that note of speaking of advertisers, I hear this one every day and it cracks me up. Call us. The company running this ad shall remain nameless in today's podcast. But here's how it reads. Call us. We can get you in to see a home the same day. Well, newsflash. If you call just about any realtor in the Denver metro area, including me, as long as the seller is allowing showings, I can get you in for the same day to see a home that is listed for sale. I cannot believe there is a company out there advertising this as if it were something special that they do that's not common practice. Please don't fall for this stuff. If you want to sell your home, call me. If you want to buy a home, great, give me a call. My direct cell phone number, 720-688-5110. Call me anytime, and yes, we can go out and see any home that is currently available on the same day that you call me. That's nothing new. Okay, now let's take a little trip. I want to take you back to May of 2020. I know, it was not a great time for us. However, I want to see how many deals we put together in May of 2020 and then compare those numbers to how many homes we sold this last May of 2021. Okay, so when I look at the data back in May of 2020, we put together 6,090 deals. Now let's fast forward to May of 2021. And yes, just as I suspected, we sold 9,261 homes this past May 2021. That is an astounding 3,171 more sellers we connected with buyers in May of 21 over May of 2020. That is more than a 30% increase in sales year over year for just the month of May. The market remains strong. Buyers have backed off just a little from that crazy February through April where the bidding wars were going nuts. However, we needed a little throttle back. And in fact, we could use a little more. I mean, think about it. How can we sell 9,250 homes in a month when we are only finding 8,517 homes listed for sale? Right now, we are running about a 3-week inventory. And what that means is, if from today, not one person puts their home up for sale, in just 3 weeks, we would not have one home available for sale in the Denver Metro MLS. A healthy market would be about 3 to 4 month inventory. This is a 3 to 4 week inventory, and it's simply too tight to remain sustainable. So we really need a combination of things to happen in order to get that inventory up. However, I don't see the volume of people moving to Denver going down. And in fact, Denver is continuing to grow. I know some people are moving out, but the pace of people who are moving in is far outweighed by the ones coming to Denver. The pace that we are now building new homes is lagging way behind our needs. The cost of labor and the cost of building materials has blown up this past year. The city cannot even approve enough developments fast enough to make a dent. So really, the only solution is for more sellers to realize this opportunity we have in this current landscape, primarily those who have a 5-year plan to move from the state or to move those plans up and start thinking now might be the best time to maximize the return on their investment and listing their home sooner rather than later. That is really where we are. We need more homes to sell in order to help balance this demand. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up today's podcast. This is once again Ricky Schoonover of Mode Denver Real Estate. I thank you for tuning in. I'll catch up with you next Thursday before 5 p.m. Also, please visit my website, www.denverhomesmarket.com. And thank you for listening to the Denver Homes Market Report.